Charmander, Charmeleon, Charizard. You need to become a different person if you want to get lean. Now, why did I mention these Pokemon? Because when the Pokemon evolve, right, they go from Charmander to Charmeleon to Charizard, right? They evolve, they get stronger, they have more abilities, they have more power. Now, when you look at a Pokemon, you're not gonna say, hey man, you switched up, hey man, you're a sellout, you weren't the same person when I first saw you. No, obviously the Pokemon evolved, right? I'm sure Pikachu or different Pokemon also have different forms of evolution, right? The same way you also have the same evolution to you. So the same habits that you have right now, you can't have them when you're leaner, when you make more money, when you have a family or whatever. Like at each stage in your life, you're going to have different habits and different thought processes, right? So if you are not lean right now, you're not single digit body fat right now, it's because you have the same thought process as somebody who is not lean. So if you're still thinking, oh, well, this is all great, Harsha, it's like, okay, I want to get lean, but, I want to have a little cookies sometimes here and there. I want to sometimes have ice cream, I want to, when's my cheat day? When's my cheat day? Everybody likes to ask that, like, when do I have a cheat day? It's like, you're still thinking like a big bag. Do you see what I mean? Like, you are who you are right now, whether it's good or bad, because of all the thoughts that have accumulated in your head, right? The way you think, the way you move is exactly why you have what you have. And that's even the good stuff. Hey, let's imagine you have good grades, right? If you've always had good grades, you've always had like A's or B's, your thought processes and the person who you are have led to the A's and B's, right? That's the person who you are because you've thought like that. Now, if you've become a person who hasn't thought like that, if you just thought, yeah, school doesn't mean much, I'm just gonna, just drift on by. I'm not really gonna be a person who goes to class. I'm not gonna be a person who studies, when the exams are near. Then you get C's and D's. But all your thoughts and processes have brought you to this point. But if you're watching this video, you know that you're not lean because you're still thinking like a person who is not lean. You have to already imagine yourself at the single digit body fat. Okay, I'm not at single digit body fat yet, but I'm getting close to it, right? But I'm still not thinking like who I used to think like, right? Because if you think like that, you're gonna stay like that. That's just how it is, right? And I think it's so crazy because people used to see actors or actresses and they're like, oh, before the fame they're like this, after the fame like they're like this. Yeah, because after the fame you're at a huge point in your life, right? If you kill a lion, right? It's a weird analogy, but you'll understand what I'm trying to say. If you kill a lion, right? If you somehow kill a lion, you were in a battle with a lion, you had like a spear and a shield, and you somehow killed a lion. You're not going to become the same person after that. You can't just go back to your same friend group and talk about the same things. Like, you're going to think like, yo, I just killed a lion. Like, maybe I should join the army. Maybe I should, maybe I should lead something. Maybe I should inspire people. Something. Like, you're not going to be the same person. You're just not. Okay? And when you get lean, you're not going to become the same person. But this is like, I'm talking about after you achieve the thing, you become a different person. But to become that person, right, to achieve the transformation, you have to become the person before you actually achieve it, right? So what does that mean? Like, okay, I'm not single digit body fat yet. I'm not lean yet. But you still got to think like you already are single digit body fat. You got to think like you're already lean, right? If you're going to go into battle, you have to think that you already won the war, that you already beat these guys, right? You have to think like that. So that will cause you to think and act like a person who is capable of that. Okay? So I mean think about it. If you could snap your fingers and you were already single digit body fat, how do you think that person would think? Do you think that person's relationship with food is still gonna be like, yeah man, sometimes I need some cookies, man. Sometimes I like a good little ice cream sometimes. Like, no. The person with single digit body fat, he just doesn't care about food that much. I mean, obviously, yeah, he likes the food, sure, but he's not obsessed about it. He's just like, okay, what am I gonna have today? You may have 2 or 3, 4 options. He's like, okay, let's do this one. Cool, we'll do chicken tacos. Cool, and he eats the tacos. It's like, okay, nice, cool, all right. And then he goes about his day. He does the next thing. Like, his day is occupied. He's obviously doing things. He's busy, right? And when it comes to food, okay, cool. I'm just gonna eat this today. All right. And then he goes to work out. He doesn't really, feel like working out. He's not like, wow, today I feel so compelled to work out. Like, no, he just goes because it's like, okay, today's a workout. Oh, today we're hitting chest. Okay, cool. I'm gonna go. You know, he goes, and then he comes back. Cool. Takes a shower. Like there's no feelings to it. You see what I mean? But like if you're not lean, if you're not at the place you want to be, you're just gonna think like, okay, I want to go to the gym, but I'm not really that motivated. Well, my muscles kind of sore. I didn't really get that much sleep last night. Legs aren't really that big of a muscle. You know what I mean? Like no one really looks at legs. Do I really need to go? You're still thinking like a person who's not in shape, right? So you have to always look at these people and think like, okay, what would Charizard do, right? Charizard, like the max evolution of a Pokemon, how would it function, right? Even if you look at their behavior, a Pokemon at the starting stage, at the first stage of its evolution, like what's the first thing called? Charmander, right? Charmander is obviously all giggly and happy and shit, and just like just moves around. He's still strong, but like he's still kind of like it just doesn't really do much, whatever. But then Charizard is like almost has like the stoic type of personality. Now, am I saying you have to become boring and lame? No, I'm not saying that. But when you achieve things, when you are, when you have like certain medals to you, like okay, you're single digit body fat. Okay, you make 10K per month online. Okay, you have a girlfriend or you got multiple girls. When you achieve certain things in life, you have a certain energy and a certain type of, you move a certain type of way, right? Why is it that anybody who's like the strongest character in anime or like he's like the most accomplished person, they always don't do the most. Like they're not so like hot-headed. They're like blah, 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 blah. They're not like that. They're kind of just like chill. They're kind of just like, oh, yeah, okay. Oh, we gotta do that? Yeah, I could do that. They're just like chill because like subconsciously, even if you just watch them, you don't even know anything about them, but you kind of know like, okay, this person is that calm when talking to a girl. This person is that calm when there's some danger. Obviously, this guy's been there before. Obviously, this guy has handled things before, right? But if you panic at every single thing, you're like, oh, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. I don't know if I could trust myself. You're still thinking like a person who can't achieve anything. So you kind of have to fake it a little bit. You just have to kind of assume that, okay, I may not have achieved anything yet. I'm on the path to achieving it, but I'm still going to think and move like a person who has achieved something. Because then that's the only way your mind is going to be like, okay, this guy's not playing around. This guy, he's not panicking. He's not second guessing himself. He can actually build trust with himself. Okay, fine. I guess we're going to have to just transform. We're just going to have to move how this guy's moving. And then your brain, your neurons and everything is going to move in a certain way that causes you to achieve the thing you want to achieve. Like your brain first is going to be like, oh, hey man, you need some sugar. You're going to need some sugar. Hey, we've always had sugar. You should have those cookies. Hey, you had your meal. You need a sweet tooth. You have a sweet tooth, right? Hey, all our life we had a sweet tooth. It's going to send those like pathways to your head. And then if you're just like, no, I'm not going to have it. I'm not going to have it. I'm just going to chew some gum instead. Yeah, I don't have a sweet tooth. That's just a lie. I'm just not going to. And you do that for a few days, your brain is literally going to be like, shit, man, I'm sending all these like neuron pathways. I'm not a biologist or whatever, so fuck the logic, right? But you know what I mean? Like it sends the signals to your brain like, hey man, like have sugar, have sugar, have sugar, have sugar. But if you don't feed it the sugar, it's like, god damn, bro, like this guy's just not giving us sugar. Okay, I guess, shit. I guess we don't need sugar then. We don't need sugar. And then the brain just adapts and stops sending you that signal of needing sugar and needing sugar. And it's just like, okay, cool. If we're gonna just be having Whole Foods all the time, I guess I'm just gonna crave Whole Foods. Okay, cool. And the brain literally just morphs because you start thinking like a lean person. You know what I mean? So you gotta just do that, man. You have to change the identity. Don't get depressed thinking like, okay, I'm going to become a different person. You've always wanted to be better, right? If you're becoming better, you're just going to become a different version of yourself. It's still you, okay? You're not losing yourself. You're still you, but you're just like an enhanced version of you, right? You're just like, think of it like if you have abilities, like a Pokemon. You're still you, but you're just a little faster, right? If a guy who's a little faster, he's going to just think a little different. That's just how it goes, all right? So don't be scared to think differently, to break limiting beliefs, to just have different habits. Maybe start liking different foods now. You maybe think like, oh, I always hate fruits or I always hate this type of food. But then now you like it. It's like, oh well, I never liked those stuff. Yeah, because you're still you right now. The evolved version of you would like it, oh, I don't like going on runs. I don't like, going on 1 hour runs. I don't like it. I never do it. Yeah, that's exactly why you are where you are. The lean version probably wouldn't care, right? He probably would enjoy it. He'd probably be like, yo, I like the wind hitting my face. You have to just pretend that you like it. You have to pretend that you like it, and then you do it for long enough. It doesn't even take that long, like 5-7 days, and then your brain's like, oh, I guess we like running. I guess we like dry fruits. It's so easy, and it doesn't take as long as you think. It really only takes 5-7 days. So really become the Charizard, man. Don't just stay at this, Charmander level, okay? As the same way with Pokemon, how you like evolving the Pokemon to go into Charmeleon and Charizard, there's different versions of you. Like there's Harsha, there's Harsha 2.0, Harsha 3.0. You can call yourself whatever, the different versions, but you have to just evolve and evolve and evolve and evolve. And if you're making 10K per month, it's not going to be the same person who's making 50K per month or who's making 100K per month. Like if he's a millionaire, obviously they're not thinking the same, right? Because if they did think the same, they would have the same results, right? Think about it. If the same shredded guy thought the same way as you, do you really think he's going to have the shredded body? Obviously not, because your brain and the way you think is why you have the results you have. He obviously thinks in a different way. If you thought like him, you obviously would become him, right? Like that's just how it goes. So, don't listen to all these people who are like, oh, I'm going to become the same person, man. I've never changed. They're never going to get anything in life. Hey, if you want that, go ahead. But me personally, I want a lot of things in life. I'm ambitious. So you have to evolve, okay? Evolve, become better, and don't be scared of change. And I think that's pretty much it that I have to say today. And hope this is a little inspiring video, but yeah. But if you just want to see my journey and stuff, and you want to follow, my paths to becoming shredded and stuff, just like, subscribe, whatever. And yeah, that's all from me today, man. And that's all. See ya.